What is up, everyone? I'm Skratch. Welcome to the channel. This is a Dragonheir Silent Gods video. Today, we're going to have a look at Drizzt, guys. We're going to do a champion review and see if he's worth the effort. Is he really worth to open our dice to get him on the Planeswalkers event, or just skip him? Now, we're going to quickly go over his kit, guys, and I'm going to explain you what's the main issue that the champion has, of course. And this is not just for him, okay? This is for every single melee hero in Dragonheir Silent Gods. Now, looking at him, he's badass together with the Panther. Their design is absolutely insane, okay? I'm loving it. Stats all around, like base stats, they're not the best. His survivability lacks, his attack is decent, but then the multipliers of his damage are kind of weak. So overall, he doesn't really bring you a lot of damage. He's not a broken legendary. He's not the worst legendary either. Let me just put it like that, okay? Basically, all the melee heroes kind of suck in the endgame. Let's be honest. It's not just him. All the melee heroes kind of suck. Look at Earth to the Battler, for example. Or whatever melee heroes you're putting in there, they're getting hammered. And it's going to be the same for him. Look at the new endgame content in the other world. All the world bosses, you know. Melee heroes kind of suck in there as well. And I feel like it might be a thing for this season. Maybe next season we're going to get new bosses. Look at most of the dungeons as well. You can't really have a lot of melee heroes because they're gonna get wrecked. So again, you need range heroes, and it's kind of like a trend. Even for arena, melee heroes are not that good unless they're assassins, and he's not one of them, okay? He has a nice crit damage aura for all battles. The passive, pretty nice. The Panther comes in, joins in to attack the same target. Every now and then she bounces from enemy to enemy, and they are gaining a stack when they're attacking the same enemy, which gives them extra attack and extra attack speed, you know? This, again, has a chance to land the Frost. It's a small AoE, but it's a battle skill, and basically swings both of the swords and deals good damage. The more you're using the skill, the more hits he's getting with it. So, again, sounds pretty interesting. The multipliers are not that great, 75% attack, so it could be better. The ultimate, both of them, they will join in and attack multiple targets, and they will do 6 hits. Now, initially, I thought that 6 hits each one of them, but they're actually splitting 6 hits, which makes it definitely more underwhelming because it's 660% attack, which is weak sauce, I'll be honest with you guys, for a legendary. There are many other champions that can do it better. And then you have the Frost benefit, of course, like any other Frost hero. He will ignore defense, and then he will do more damage based on how much HP the target's lost, up to 30%. So that's actually pretty interesting. That should boost their damage pretty nice. I do say 6 hits split in between them too, because the animation is pretty fast, and no way I'm seeing 12 hits in there, but maybe I'm wrong, you know? So the whole idea here, guys, is that, yes, the damage is pretty weak for a skill like this. And the main thing that you need to keep in mind, a lot of people are comparing this champion with Usha. A lot of people are disappointed in his performance, and I cannot judge them, you know? I'm not going to go and do a full test in here, guys, because I'm going to show you pretty much whatever everyone else showed you. Usha, the rare champion, indeed, she's out damaging him, you know, and you're putting them in the same gear. One thing to keep in mind, legendaries are much harder to scroll, okay? My Drizzt is not scrolled. Rares are much easier to scroll. She's scrolled. She doesn't have the gear. Her base attack, of course, is nowhere as good as his. And even like that, she's outperforming him. And that's mainly because she deals a 1,600 damage with this skill right here when the enemy is under Frost. So that's the whole idea with them. But she's a melee hero too. And at the same time, she kind of sucks in most of the content. Like, you guys know it. Because they're melee, they don't perform as good. Now, I'm not saying by any means that she's a bad champion. I'm just saying that melee heroes in general, they are underperforming compared to range heroes. At least that's how the whole game has been designed around these heroes, you know? So that being said, let's quickly have a look at what exactly Drizzt can do. And let me just quickly talk a bit about the event. So basically, you are getting around 100 Hunter's Blades for free, okay? Then if you want to get Drizzt, you're probably going to have to open in between 15, 10, 20 dice, depending on your luck, of course, and you're going to get the champion. Now, let me just tell you why I got the champion. So, personally, I got the champion, the number one reason, because I'm a content creator and I wanted to do content and show you guys everything that's going on with the D&D event, the champion, etc. Now I'm a bit late with this video, but that's fine. Number two, I got this hero because he is basically limited time event, okay? We're never going to be able to get this champion, at least in the foreseeable future. Now, this champion is definitely underperforming at the moment, and hopefully they will buff him again at some point in the future. At least that's my hope. If no, my second hope is that this time around, range heroes are amazing. They dominate the meta. Maybe next season or in 2 seasons from now, with new bosses, new mechanics, etc., that might change. New gear sets, range heroes might become better. You know, they might be the meta at some point, and that's when Drizzt will actually get to shine. But this again is more of a hunch. It's more of something that I would expect the games to do, basically, because it's kind of like evolving the meta all the time, swapping around. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that. That's why I went for the hero. Now it's up to you if you care about any of these reasons that I gave you. It does look pretty cool. That's probably another reason why I went for him. I'm not using him anywhere at the moment. And I'll be honest, I won't be using him anywhere for the entire season, okay? Let me just put it straight out there. To be honest, I'm not using him anywhere. I don't really have the best Frost heroes to play around with. I do have a few, don't get me wrong. But this season, I focused heavily on Fire and Poison. Then I focused heavily on Radiance and Lightning. And Frost and Necrosis are not my main priority this season. And on top of it, I feel like they lack a lot of support, at least in the combination that they are right now with the elements, and I'm not a fan of Frost and Necrosis in Season 1, okay? Just because of the elemental affinity combinations and lack of support, lack of amazing tanks, etc., you know? So that's the main reason why I'm staying away from Frost and Necrosis this season. But let me show you what's the main issue with melee heroes. So right here, I had to break my 5-man elemental affinity to bring in Frorbard. But you know why? Because I don't have enough healing to keep him and the tank alive. If no, I need to have that decreased attack. So let me just quickly bring in Lysenia as well, just to have that Frost on here. So the whole idea is that me and probably 95% or more of you guys out there will have the exact same issue. We don't have the OP legendaries from Frost and Necrosis to keep our champions alive, especially the melee ones. So because of it, we need to basically break the 5-man elemental affinity, and that will cost you a lot of damage, a lot of stats, especially in the endgame. And I'm at a point where for me it's just not worth it to break the 5-man elemental affinity to try and get something out of the champion. But how I mentioned, once the elemental affinities will rotate, next season, 2 seasons, everything can change. New champions coming to the game can actually empower all these heroes. So we have to basically wait and see. All I'm saying is, I would love to see a Frost Frorbard, basically, you know? That would be amazing. So if we position him like this towards the back, we are basically blocking the boss from using the AoE to hit all my teams. So it's just the tank and Drizzt together with the Panther tanking there at the moment. We have the Frost on, so the damage from here on, it should be going pretty damn crazy, okay? Now the whole idea is with the Frost heroes too, you kind of like need to bring in another Frost hero to put that Frost on and basically enable their full potential, which in a way is not that great because you're losing a spot there. Like Lysenia, she doesn't really do anything else but Frost, you know? And it's true, Frost wild heroes, they need other wild heroes to work, but mainly their DPS, and they synergize pretty well. Necrosis need other summoners to work great, they synergize better, etc. Same with Rally. But with Frost, I just feel like you tend to lose a spot when you're bringing in a hero just to put Frost, unless you have the right ones. Like I don't have Rava, unfortunately, on my account. Would be a much better option, funny enough, for what we're doing right here. But how you may notice, the damage is actually not bad. We are at 2 million damage. We are doing a pretty good job on melting the boss here without having scrolls in the hero. Keep that in mind as well. I haven't actually timed when they're using their ultimate, when I have the Frost on, when I have defense down, etc. How you may notice, they are getting pretty low on the HP. So without a Frorbard in here, they will be instantly dead. And it will happen on every single boss that we are going to fight in the game, you know. Probably if you're doing Vortex and you have some good good support for them, you'll be fine. Unfortunately, Megan cannot keep them all alive on her own, you know. But the damage that we are getting from him is not bad. And the current time for a team like this that doesn't have the 5-man elemental affinity is pretty good at 1 minute and 35 seconds, right? And there you go. 2.5 million damage, 61%. It's true, I don't really have another damage dealer in here. Vorash does what he does, but he's not really built for damage. So you cannot be disappointed by getting this. Like, the damage is not bad. It's just not the best, okay? So that's one of the main things why people felt a bit disappointed by the hero, because he's meant to be unique, he's meant to be one of a kind, and he's just not standing out compared to the other heroes that we have in the game at the moment, you know. And I still think he needs a bit of a buff on multipliers, but the main thing that's the real issue is once his Panther dies, she never comes back, okay? She never comes back, and I feel like if his ultimate skill will basically have something like Charlash, for example. He summons the Fear Bearer, and if the Fear Bearer is alive when he's using the ultimate skill again, he's only doing the damage. If the Fear Bearer is not there, he's summoning another one. So I feel like he needs to do the same with his Panther. When he's using the ultimate, if the Panther is alive, just deal damage. If the Panther is not there, summon her and then deal damage. If they're adding this to the hero, so you're constantly bringing back the Panther, is good. Once the Panther dies in a fight, it's pretty much game over for him. And the main idea is that at the moment, after the initial buff, the Panther tends to survive more than him most of the times, you know? So that's that's one thing to keep in mind. That's why Usha, as a rare champion, outperforms him, you know? Now, if we're gonna do a run against Earth to the Balor, guys, he's meant to do more damage in here because he is the Nemesis, right? And we're gonna go with a full Frost and Necrosis team. We're gonna have Irma as the tank because she's going to buff damage reduction. She's going to buff control immunity. We're going to have Lysenia, who is built for damage, and she's going to put Frost on everybody. We're going to have Megan as a healer. And of course, we're going to have the Traveler, the MC, to give us a bit of extra support, give us a shield, etc. You know? So let's see how it will play out. I definitely don't think that this team will reach 10 million damage because I feel like we're going to lose him pretty quick in, but I might be wrong. So let's see where we're going with it, you know. So Irma buffing. If I would have her scrolled, that will definitely improve a bit my whole situation here. And his damage so far is not bad. Like, the damage itself is definitely not bad dropping in from him. The main thing is that it is hard to sustain a team like this. That's my struggle with the Frost and Necrosis, you know. But let me know in the comments down below. I know some of you guys that might have some of the nice legendary champions or even some of the nice epics in here will have a much better result than I have with the team, you know. A Zarlot would be amazing for my team. Rava could do an amazing job as well. So there are quite a few options that will improve this team and have the potential to get to 10 million. This boss has so much RNG, guys. It's just like out of this world, basically, you know. And there we go. Melee heroes just got wrecked, you know. They just got wrecked. And one of the other issues that we do have here is not having that decreased attack, you know, which is so important. Now, if I would have some different champions that could potentially land the decreased attack, that would definitely ensure that my team survives longer. If I'm not bringing him the Frost, he's not going to deal so much damage, you know. You can, of course, break the 5-man elemental affinity, actually, and kind of like pray for the best. That would put him in a better position, I would say. So let's just try something a bit funky here. Let's try something funky. We're close to the 5 million. If I would do another try or a couple of them, I would definitely get to the 5 million damage. No problem. So let's actually break the 5-man elemental affinity. Let's do this. And you know what? Instead of the MC, the Traveler, let's actually bring in Adolphus. He's going to give us a much better shield. Wait, I picked up the wrong champion. So let's go in like this. We do have one good healer in here, Megan. She should be doing a good job. If not, you can always bring in Hexandra. But then you're going to have to basically forget about Adolphus. Because you want to have the 3-man elemental affinity for them, you know. They do more damage. Just to have the extra stats. Flurbart is already a pretty solid tank, you know. And you want to have that extra damage. We still keep Lysenia here just to give us the frost, basically, so we can deal more damage. So let's see. Are we killing the mobs with him or no? I don't think we will be able to do it. But at least now we will have decreased attack. This boss does rotate pretty fast too, compared to the other. So that was the AoE attack. Not that impressive. Not that impressive, considering that we had the 10 stack on the attack and the attack speed. So that goes up to 40%. You would expect to see a much bigger hit where you're actually killing somebody, you know? But that was a bit like, okay. Okay, there we go again. So not the best damage, but we are at 1.4 million damage. And who knows, we might live to see an amazing run here. Who knows? Maybe we're gonna hit 5 million damage with Froerbart in here, you know? It's very likely to hit 5 million damage, I'll be honest. It's not an insane result to hit 5 million damage. But hey, it's something decent, you know? So there we go. Lysenia putting in some work as well. She's at 1.2 million damage. So not too bad. But she's mainly just bringing in the frost, you know? That's the whole... her whole job, basically, you know? There we go. And Drizzt coming in with the ultimate in a second. We should be having the frost on the enemies by the time that's happening. Okay, decrease attack and... okay, there we go. Closer to the 5 million mark. Closer to the 5 million mark. So that's my main thing, man. Like, I'm honestly praying to get a frost Froerbart in the next season. Because if we're getting that, the frost element will be in such a good spot, you know, because they have a lot of damage, they have a lot of firepower, but they're really lacking the almighty support, you know. And there we go, 5 million damage right there. Who knows? We might even get to 10. We're still looking pretty good, loaded on the HP so far. If we're not getting unlucky with the boss to smack us when we don't have decreased attack, you know, we should be good. It's nice to have that dispel of defense down from Megan and from Froerbart as well with their passives. Then to have the increased defense as well from her, the lower version. That's actually very helpful too, to mitigate a bit the decreased defense, of course. There we go. Adolphus coming in with the shield. Absolutely massive as a champion, guys. 6.2 million damage so far. And I feel like, yes, with good RNG, we could potentially reach the 10 million damage with this scheme. So I might have to do 3, 4, 5, 6 retries, who knows. Luckily, we had that decreased attack there, but we badly need some healing on Froerbart right now. If no, he's about to get hammered. So I need Megan to step her game up nice. So we managed to get back on top of the situation. We're almost on full HP. That's always good to see. Decrease attack on. Beautiful. You see the spell debuff. Very, very nice. But we are not able to kill the side minions anymore. With the 5-man elemental affinity, yes, Drizzt was able to kill them from round to round almost, which was pretty nice to see, you know? But as it stands right now, it's just not powerful enough to get the job done. And oh my god, I thought that Froerbart was going down, and he is. So we reached 8 million damage. I'm telling you guys, with good luck, you're going to be able to retry this a few times, and you're going to get to 10 million damage. It's a lot of RNG in this fight, unfortunately. And it's not impossible to do it, you know. But as soon as Froerbart goes down, so is our melee hero. That's why we need a Frost Froerbart to help all these melee heroes from the Frost element to perform better, basically, you know. 8.6, definitely doable to reach 10 million, 100%. Just seeing that we had bad RNG there, no decreased attack, he was stunned, we didn't manage to get a healing on him, so a lot of things were not in our favor. And we have Drizzt with 55% of the damage, Lysenia with 38%. So he is performing better than her, but she's not really that insane damage dealer or anything like that. But if we're gonna move over to Arena, guys, I wanna give you guys my take on Arena because I really don't think he is designed for Arena whatsoever, and I'm gonna explain you why. Melee heroes for Arena are pretty weak, especially if they're not assassins, especially if they're not immune to control, especially if they don't do anything crazy, okay? And I'll be honest, he doesn't do anything crazy. Now here, you can run this team by bringing with another damage there, sorry, and it's not necessarily going to be better, okay? The whole idea is that you have melee heroes, he just attacks the target, okay? He's not gonna do anything else. Now, he doesn't have enough damage to kill the target. That's the problem. He doesn't have enough firepower to kill the tank. So basically, we're gonna get crowd control, we're gonna get taunted, we're gonna get a decreased attack on, and he's gonna stay there while the back line is going to completely obliterate our team. So just have a quick look as an idea. Doesn't really matter how I'm positioning him here on the map, because it's gonna be the same result, you know. He's already getting low. And one hit there, as soon as an AoE hit will drop in from that Erich, for example, we're going to be in trouble, okay? So, okay, Dane going first. Frerbart, decrease attack, and that's, there you go, taunt, decrease attack. That's what's happening with melee heroes that don't do anything special. They're not assassins, they're not meant to jump at the lowest target, they're not meant to do anything interesting whatsoever. And because of it, they will get clapped. Now, this happens to Usha as well. If you have her in a similar situation, she will probably be in the same spot. But that's because they're not arena champions, and that's not bad, okay? Flora, she's not an arena champion, and she's amazing. There are many other champions that are amazing, and they're not arena champions. Tunnelnun, she's not an arena champion, she's amazing. Even Frerbart, he's not really an arena tank, but he's still amazing. So, my whole point here is, I'm well aware that Drizzt is not designed to be an arena champion, at least not for this current metas whatsoever. Who knows, in the future, he might potentially be something better. So right here, I'm left with 2 tanks and my 3 champions. Probably we will kill them, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't think that they will survive, but it will take us a bit of time. And if you are paying attention to the damage, you see, he barely dealt any damage and died, okay? So that's the main issue. 3.8% damage, he died, and all the rest of the damage comes from the other champions like Voresh, even Golande, even Lysania, okay? And they're not built for damage. That's the next thing that you guys need to keep in mind. If I would go against this team, we're pretty much going to have the same sort of situation. Drizzt is not going to move from those tanks. He's going to be stuck there with the tanks, and he's going to get killed, okay? And that's kind of like my whole issue with the melee heroes for Arena. Not the best champions, at least, unless it's a Questa or a Caroman or something like this. That actually makes more sense, you know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. What do you think about Drizzt so far? Hopefully, this kind of like helped you in a way or another to decide if it's worth it for you to summon for him or not, you know, because some of you guys are still wondering, should I open my 35 Heliolite dice on his banner, or should I use them on the other ones? Which one will give me more value? Think about it in the following way, how I mentioned it to you before, guys. Exclusive, he might be better in future content, and of course he might get another buff, and he's not the worst legendary in the game. He's just not really living to the expectation of the people. He's not really a champion that was going to get hyped, and I do hope that they will make it in a way or another to be able to summon his Panther back, and of course increase a bit the multipliers, the damage. That was all for the video. Much love, appreciate every single one of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.